Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for another Fool's Gold review, and in this Fool's Gold review I'll be covering Absolute Flash issue 5 as we start to move within, I guess, approaching the first arc of this thing. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way? Oh, to those who are new to Fool's Gold, let me tell you one thing, that Fool's Gold can actually be a little bit more harsher than my main comic reviews. And the reason why that is because of how the rating system is slightly different. So, for example, of course, I still rate the cover, the art, and the story, but there's also a total for both the artist as well as the writer. And on top of that, we also have a currency conversion, to which I paid $4.99 for this. So not only that, they are also trying to, with the money I spent for it, which would be $8.95 Australian, considering it's $4.99 here, I'm also letting the, as well as the writer of the series, as well as DC, know that this is how much I think their comic is actually worth, even though I paid this amount. So moving into the first area, and that is the area of the cover. So for the cover, does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence, it does, to which I give it a 5.5 out of 10, to which I believe the cover is worth $1.50. Now, that's $1.50 Australian. Next is the area of the internal art, as we'll have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. And then I'll give the cover rating and how much I believe, or then I'll give the rating for the internal art and how much I believe it's worth. So we catch up with Wally West, to which I've forgotten whereabouts the character is. I think it's meant to be Central City or something like that. It wasn't pointed out in the story, though it should be pointed out in the story. And because of that, it should also, it will also lose points, which is also a loss of money. And as you can see here, we've got Wally West in the sewers in this absolute universe, and he's with Grodd, the ape, basically, or the chimp. Grodd gives him the suit to use against the character in the series to try to save him or help him out. And last but not least, we have Rudy West discovering and finding out more of the experiments of Thorn. For the internal art, I gave it a 5 out of 10, to which I believe it's worth about $1. So that gives the overall amount for the artist being $2.50. Next is the area of the story. So let's see how Jeff Lemire went with this story. Now, don't get me wrong, I have actually read some really good things of Jeff Lemire that he has written and I have personally enjoyed. But that's not to say that there are stories that he has written that I might not enjoy so much. In relation is, what's happening in this DC story? Is it worth the hype that people are talking about, or is it not? So the story consists of, now, depending on how far a story goes in issues, so for example, this might be up to issue 12 or 15, I would then start to expect comic book references, or once it starts to hit the 10 onwards, I'd expect comic book references. Seeing we're not there, the things that I do expect are time, so we know what time these events are taking place, whether it's morning, noon, night, and for it to be pointed out by the writer and or editor. Next is the location, because the location is important because it plays in regards to the character. And last but not least is the cast of characters. So we want to know who the cast of characters are that are in this story, because especially if you might happen to be a new reader, a new comic book reader, and you were to pick this up and you had no idea who the hell the cast of characters were, I'd understand why you would want to put the comic back down and say, I think I'll grab this other comic over here instead, because at least I know who the characters are in the story, because the story shows me who the characters are. So starting off with the area of time, did we get anything time-wise? No, we didn't. Next is the area of the location. Not really at all. Last but not least, the cast of characters. We had Wally West Flash, we had Grodd, we had Linda Park, we had Mr. Dibney, Andrea Fawn, and Rudy West, his father. Now, for my overall story rating, I gave it a 1 out of 10. Now, that's a little bit lower than what I think I first gave the first issue. And how much do I believe the story is worth? About 35 cents. So the total overall, or the total for the writer is 35 cents. The total overall for both writer and artist is $2.85. So therefore, we have the artist being worth more in this than the writer. And it would take quite a miracle of sorts for both writer and artist to get a fantastic rating in both. But that also leaves a bit of a loss as to how much I actually paid, or for this. Now it's $8.95. The overall loss is $6.10, and that's in Australian dollars. I'll leave you to convert that into whatever currency that you happen to purchase this thing in, including US currency, to find out how much was actually lost in this particular comic. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.